We'll do a call to order. I have 7:04. Lily and her father Brian are with us tonight for public comment. If you guys would like to start now, that would be fine.
Lily and Brian, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We would love to hear about your proposal.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. I guess just like a little bit about me. I'm a Girl Scout, a part of Troop 6603 in Farmington, and I'm a rising senior. And I'm working on my Girl Scout Gold Award, which is like equivalent to an Eagle for like Boy Scouts. And so I decided to focus on bike safety, particularly in Farmington, and like making Farmington a bike-friendly community. Because I've used the path like my whole life, and I was like COVID, like I like turned to the path. I went there a lot, so it just became a big part of my life. So I contacted Ron and Carolyn, and so a part of the project that like we wanted to focus on was implementing more bike racks into town. And the place we hoped we could start was the community center. I sent Mr. Thomas, like you, like a proposal today in an email, but I can also share my screen to like what that would look like if you guys wanted that.
That would be great. I haven't, I've been out of the office all day, so I haven't seen it, unfortunately. So please do share.
Okay. Oh, it says the host disabled my ability, but
I can fix that.
Okay.
You should be a co-host now, so it should be no problem.
Okay.
There you go.
It like muted me when I tried to share it. I also have like the paper copy, so I could just hold it up now, I guess.
Yeah, Lily, if you can send it to me in an email, I can pull it up.
Okay.
While you talk.
So basically, like I just was thinking about like how to make like a cool or like unique bike rack design. That I thought. Oh, what's your email? Sorry.
Reilly, REILLYD at farmington-ct.org.
Okay. So basically I was hoping to put it like at the community center to like the left of the front door. And it'd just be like a bike rack that like anyone could use when they're going to the community center. Hold on, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, I just sent it to you.
All right. I'll throw it up as soon as I get it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
No worries. I'm used to technical difficulties. When we start these Zoom meetings back in 2020, I was the king of technical difficulties. So take your time. Yeah. Let's get it right. That's fine.
Yep.
I think it's because I'm on my school computer, so they have like a lot of restrictions, so kids don't like do stuff.
Yeah.
Is. So maybe while we're waiting for that, maybe Lily's dad can kind of tell us like the features that are kind of, that will make it last beyond any of any of us. That's what I thought was interesting.
Okay.
So, so I'm Brian Picard. I am a Farmington, not born, but raised, class of '91. Came back and live here in Farmington as well. So actually, I live in my childhood home. Bought it off my parents, and then so so I unfortunately have some little knacks of welding and woodworking and things alike. And if any of you have been out to the suburban park to see the bench that's in the side of the that's in the middle of the woods, that's something that we had done. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but if not, it was a memorial that we did for Shannon. Actually helped us get it put in, but it's basically I do a lot with live edge with trees. And so part of this design, Lily came to me and said, let's do something that's a little bit, and I don't want to tell you what the design is because I think it's really cool. So we're going to have a little bit of metal, a little bit of wood, but it's going to have a feature that's going to make it look and feel like, the essence of Farmington, but it's also the essence of Farmington because it's a tree from town. We're, repurposing, recycling stuff. And then I think the design will have an impression on people coming up, potentially even excite people to want to ride their bike to the community center just because it's a cool looking, it's not just a normal metal frame type of device. It will be anchored into the ground, 2 reasons, so nobody could take it. But second of all, that due to the weight of the structure and the strength that we need, it'll be anchored into the ground with some concrete, but it won't be a concrete slab. It'll just be concrete footings.
Okay.
And as such, we don't need to, we're not pouring a ton of concrete. A couple bags of concrete is more than enough to lock it into place. And then we would just use crushed stone. And the idea behind the whole thing is that, it'll last a significant amount of time. Most of us won't be around anymore. Maybe every once in a while, maybe a Girl Scout or two may just touch it up here and there to clean it up. But for the most part, it'll be built pretty sturdy, if that's what it is. So I don't know if you've received it yet, if you got it yet, or
I haven't received it yet.
Hey, Lily, could you send it to me? Maybe I can do it on my computer since I don't have all those restrictions.
Yeah.
Your updated one. So I have a version of it, but she spent a lot of time today. It's dimensionally accurate and all those other things. So Lily, just let me know when you get it. I will.
Maybe I should call out the superintendent right now and get her to straighten this problem.
Or she'll lock it down tighter.
That could be.
Yeah, I think it says he's out of the school thing. So it's saying it's not the address wasn't found. I don't know.
Okay. So you have printed copies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just sent it to you.
You sent it to me? Okay, let me just see if it comes up. Come on. Lily, why don't you get them printed just in case? Because that way we can move this thing along in case I can't view it.
Oh, I have it right here. So I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah, we can
basically
see it.
my design was to have a big F, the Farmington F, and then have the bike rack be under the letters I guess the Armington part. So that's the general design. It's obviously subject to change depending on the space and all that. And then I also did we can do if it just is single sided, so only 4 to 5 bikes would fit, or if it was double sided and people could put their bikes in from the back side, and then 8 to 10 bikes would fit. So those are, I don't know if you can see this because it's a little lighter, but these are the 2 different dimensions from an aerial view. Yeah.
Back it up from your camera just a little bit. And so go to your right a little bit and up. So if you look at the one on the right side, that's an aerial view, and the sidewalk so it's right against the sidewalk. Yep. So Lily, just go up a little bit higher, if you could. I may have to just put her as a main screen. Lily, just start talking so that it switches back to your face. Lily.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
Okay. So go to so move over a little bit. So can you see that?
Yes.
If you pin her, she becomes the biggest.
Yeah. How do you pin? I don't know how to pin her.
Did I not do that?
Now
Yeah,
I see her as
the biggest now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what'll happen here is the one on the right. So just only I'm helping Lily because she can't see it. The one on the right is the sidewalk. So you come into front. That's where you would see the Farmington. So to the left of the door, it'd be the Farmington. And you can see we have like kind of a little walk around, and there's timbers in the ground with like a stone dust that's in here. And one of the things we were going to do, because part of the whole thing is the rails to trails, and that's a big part of the biking. We were going to use a railroad tie as the bumper that you need to keep the bike from sliding out from the. So that'll be buried into the ground, so that if you can see the line on both sides, it would go in, and then all bike racks have like a rail. So it would actually be a railroad tie to help keep it, just as a signifying what Farmington's all about. And then the left side would be a smaller version of one-sided. We just don't know the kind of space that is acceptable because of utilities. So, sorry, Lily. Okay. You're good. You don't have to.
Yeah.
So you could take
Oh,
over.
you're good.
Thank you.
So yeah, also like a big thing would be I can do all the funding. Girl Scouts has money that they can give me. I can raise money. I can also ask for like material donations, you could call it, from like local like places. So the town wouldn't have to put in like a dime for this project. And the only thing we would need was like a call before you dig, because it is public property and we wouldn't want to like do anything on ground that we shouldn't.
Yeah,
so that's the only
no big deal.
Yeah, so that's the only part I would need like help from the town, but I can get volunteers and help. Obviously my dad will be a big part of the project. So yeah, it's all going to be on like my side. Like the town won't need to do anything except for that call to dig or before you dig.
Okay. We can certainly take care of a call before you dig. That's something we do almost daily.
How about Ron?
We do. Yeah.
I'd like to hear Ron's input, because Ron is very particular about bike racks. So Ron, thoughts?
So we met in Collinsville, got to meet Lily's dad and mom, and Carolyn was there, and it just happened to be a bike rack kind of similar to the right, Brian, to the outline of it, and it's better than other types I've seen in town. So
We know exactly what you're talking about, Ron. We all know which bike racks you hate.
It's not like that. Yes, it has the Ron stamp of approval, if you will.
Which part is metal and which part is wood?
So like all the lettering, so the big F and then the rest of the letters Farmington is going to be made out of wood, and then the actual like bike rack part where like the bikes will go is going to be made out of metal, and it'll like come down from the wood.
Okay, gotcha.
Would it make sense to make it out of metal and just plasma cut it out, or that way it would last longer than wood, or would it be polyurethane coated? I'm just wondering, how it's going to look like in 10 years.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, I don't have like the resources to do that kind of like steel or metal work, so that's why I decided to go like a wood metal combo. But it definitely would be like sealed with like epoxy, so it would last.
If you do want to use a plasma cutter, I've got one and I can show you how.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So if it was made out of stainless, like 1/8" stainless or something like that, and then I've got some metalworking stuff in the garage.
That could be a very cool option if that's if Willie and Brian want to talk to you afterwards and see if that's something that you all want to work into the design. But Andrus is a engineer jack of all trades, so he has all kinds of cool tools in his garage, I think.
Yeah, I'd definitely be willing to change and like have no wood if you're willing to like give up your time to do that.
Yeah, you guys are just down the street from me. So I'll figure something out.
So Lily, well, we can talk about this later, but we're a little up against the clock, but does it actually have to be in there by the end of the summer? Because I kind of don't see that happening, I guess. Or
Yeah, I
does
mean,
it have to be?
like, do you mean like if I didn't get it done, or like is it on the town side that there's like not a lot of
No,
time?
that I'm not sure of. But what if you had the rack all done and you said to the Girl Scouts, okay, it's going to be in blah, blah, blah?
If I had plans for it to be in, then like it's fine.
Okay.
Honestly, my crunch time for summer is more like based on the school aspect because I'm getting like a dual credit for this project through my Aspire. So that's where like the crunch time comes in. But I technically have till I turn 18 for this project to be finished. I'd like it to be done way before that, but I'm only 16 now, so we definitely have time like on the backside.
Dylan, what are the things we need to think of on our side right now?
I would have to clear it with Russ, maybe Kathy as well. Russ because he does all the maintenance around town pretty much. Jeff, could you just make sure that do we have a bike rack out there in front of the PD? Jeff?
No.
No, we don't. Oh, thought we did. Yeah, I'll just run it by Russ, make sure he's okay with like the location and the aspect of it, and then I'm sure I'll have to talk to Kathy about it as well, briefly. But as long as they're both on board, I don't see anything really holding us up. The call before you dig takes 5 minutes.
Great. I think we can get them on board. Brian, did you have a question?
Yeah, I guess what I want to do is share the screen of what we did in Suburban Park. So this is kind of where Lily's influence was. So if I'm able to get the host to help me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Should
I can
be all set.
Okay, share the screen. Let me just. So tell me when you can see it.
It's up.
Okay, so this was a tree that fell right there. And so this is the front of it. I don't know if I could zoom in, but if you could see the handcrafted embedded in here. Yeah, these are all live edge. Okay, so this is an epoxy overlay with a urethane coating. So if you go there now, it's been out in the elements for quite some time. It doesn't even look tarnished at all. So there's going to be some age, but the reality is this is what she was looking at it. You can see the bold of the grains and everything like that. And so we would actually etch these letters in, the Farmington in there. The wood would be part of it, and it would just have a little bit of not perfect lines, but it's the flair of having live edge, but it comes from Farmington. On the backside, we could create the story or whatever it is. But this was kind of the influence behind what Lily was talking about. So this particular bench, and then if I share you the next, hold on, can you see that one? This is the, I think I gotta go back in. Hold on, how do I get out of this thing? Stop sharing. There we go, and share. Let me see here. This is the first one. We see. So if I move to the next one, you don't see it though, huh?
If you're selecting a specific window,
how about that one?
There you go. Got it.
Okay, so that's the backside looking out, and in this case, you see how the pipes are going in here. Yeah. It's invisible. So that's the whole idea, is to create this kind of natural feel. And then the bikes are part of that. And so the bike rack will look different. There'll be a cutout for the metal, but we could always do metal. But I think where Lily was that this is a touch. A machine didn't create this. A person does, right? That's the difference. So
that looks great.
So would it be pipes that were for the rack? Those would be similar to that. You'd have pipes coming down for the metal portions.
That would be welded. Yeah, it would be pipe. A frame with pipes. Okay. So it'd be a square stock frame with, I forget what she has on there, like 6 or 8 pipes coming down that creates the front tire to hold in place, and then a railroad track buried in the soil so it doesn't slide out.
Gotcha.
So kind of like that lip that keeps it from, keeps it straight up and down.
So where the wheel is going in is not a solid piece, but it's all connected. So if the wood were not part of it, that portion would still exist.
100%. So if they ever had to just unbolt it off,
Yep.
they could. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. That's I think as far as security, strength, and all that,
Yeah.
that's great. I love the laser cut. We might have to review that somewhere else if you don't go with that on this one. But I think that sounds great. I don't know what's other thoughts.
I like the live edge wood. I like it a lot.
Yeah. It looks very neat. My only thought is, have you put any thought into maybe a location with more of a nature-y background other than the senior center and PD, or is that kind of important to the project?
Honestly, like wherever the town thinks it'd fit best, the community center is just an idea, but if there's another suggestion that you guys think like would fit the town, I just like whatever.
No, I'm just thinking it's going to be so natural wood and live edge. It might deserve a spot on the trail or something. I don't know. We can talk about that later. That's not important now. But that was my only question.
Yeah, I mean, we could certainly use something at the community center. I think that was probably Ron's leaning there, because he wants a rack at the community center. But that's a good point, Dylan. It would be kind of neat to have it like Suburban Park, in and amongst the trees, because it just it does fit the nature. Whether it was, I mean, even I don't know where the bike racks are in the high school. I know most people actually leave their bikes in the woods at the high school when they ride in. So the bike racks aren't used so much. But even possibly at Town Hall, where we've got a somewhat limited bike rack right now, in front of it, you've got a lot of trees and overhang there. And whether it's closer to the building or in the island in the middle, under a tree, that might be nice, because if you're coming in and you see the bike rack coming in, that's sort of drawing people in also. So that might be a different location to consider, but we can talk about that afterwards. I think, there are a lot of great, and if we did that, then we'd have to go back to Andrus about the laser cut for the community center. We could get 2 bike racks out of this meeting.
Yeah.
I like that island idea, if that's ever possible. That would be beautiful there.
Everything's possible. So what else, Lily and Brian, what else do you need from us tonight?
Honestly, that was it. Just the bike rack.
Great. Well, I really like the presentation. I appreciate it. I think it's very cool looking, and I think it would be a great addition. We'll just have to kind of zero in on where the best spot is for it, that it can one, be appreciated by everyone that's coming by, be well used, and if it fits in, again, the Suburban bench is awesome, and it's great. It would be great to have that kind of feel where you're tying in nature with where it is. So great. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Lily.
Right.
See you later.
Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to new business. For the first item, I have the Bike League application. I know it's really just Ron, Carolyn, and I right now who are here. I would like you guys to just take a look at the application. We'll try and, for this first meeting, I think we'll just go over things broadly, and then after this, we'll kind of narrow in on certain sections of the application and get those filled out, and we'll review our 2018 application as well and see where we have improved since then, and how we can maybe spruce things up to give us that boost to get silver.
And we're also going to have Lily in on that.
Lily will be there as well.
Yeah.
she did agree to the meeting on Thursday next week.
What time was that again?
Well, you're testing me, Ron.
All day, right?
I think we're at 3 o'clock, right? The 18th at 3 o'clock, is that? Or maybe it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, the 18th at 3. Yeah.
All right. So that's Tuesday at 3 o'clock then, the 18th.
Town hall, right?
Yeah, town hall. We'll do it right in the development conference room.
So
No
can
need,
we
no
see
need to
them-
bring anything. I'll have the smart board up with pretty much everything we need loaded up. So, but if you have any notes or anything, certainly bring those.
How about as far as the food, the catering, how does that?
You were supplying that, Ron, I thought.
Yeah.
Bike
I
Walk
thought that was an
Farmington.
email chain.
Bike Walk Farmington. Well,
Yeah. And then 2 educational materials. Whenever our newsletter items come up internally for town hall, I always try and pick things that are more relevant than just going back and going, well, we haven't run this since 2014, or we haven't done this since last spring. So just keep in mind whenever you're reading, something short, because remember that the newsletters from the town are tight and they're packed with a lot of different information from a lot of different departments within the town. So if you can find things that are, a quarter of a page or less, or can fit into that accordion fold, do send those to me. I'd be happy to take a look at them and include them in the next issue, whenever that is. The business newsletter from Rose, we just have to type something up to help try and drive businesses to the Bike League application for bike-friendly businesses. Rose said, Rose Ponte, our economic developer, she said something short and sweet is always best with them. Otherwise, they don't read it. So if we could, she said probably 2 or 3 sentences and maybe a link to something that can explain it more and better. So I was thinking just a couple sentences and then a link to the Bike League website, right to where the application is and all their pros and cons and their reasoning for why they should get it. But we can always do something on our own, but I think for the time being we can do something like that. I'd be happy to write something up if someone else feels strongly like they should do it, by all means, but
Carolyn, we can get something together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose said if we can fit something into those 2 or 3 sentences that would help entice them to maybe think about it or consider it, that would be great too. Or at least encourage them to hit the link or follow the link or whatever it is. So that's all I had for that. Does anyone have anything to add for new business?
Bill, and how often does Rose send out her business newsletter?
Once monthly, I think.
Okay, it is monthly.
She said, yeah. I spoke to her over the phone about it. I was trying to find the email this afternoon and I couldn't find it. So I'm pretty sure I spoke to her over the phone about it, or maybe I caught her in the hallway. So if no one has anything to add to new business, I'll move on to old business.
I do have one new business idea
Sure.
rather than emailing. Should we come up with a kind of like a bicycle master plan? Not, I'm not talking about updating
The complete streets.
the complete streets, which is kind of a nice to have, but like the master plan would be, hey, here's the long-term vision of what we want, get it captured, and then we can get the town council behind it. And then that'll give us more teeth with DOT to get these big projects done, either get funding, it'll work on our application, hey, here's our master plan and, you know, and then kind of codify some of the stuff that we've been kicking around for the last decade.
So bike and ped master plan.
And
You know,
just from that point of view, it would be nice to just have some good bullet points.
sure.
This being a local election year, and if you can get all the candidates to buy into these concepts,
Yeah.
when the next council puts together their goals for the year, if you've gotten everyone committing to it before the campaign even starts, then you know they'd have a tough time not putting it into the goals and objectives for the year.
Yeah.
So it might be nice to have that so you can get them all to commit to that early on.
Yeah. CJ, just a question. How often is the strategic plan for the town updated?
Every year, the goals and target portion of it is redone. The full strategic plan, probably every 10 years or so, you dig a little deeper into it. But
Yeah.
the one that we have now was put together 20 years ago. But it's been updated with the targets and the goals throughout. So that happens every other year at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, would that be an addendum? Better to have that as an addendum on something that's already existing?
Yeah,
separate master plan.
We can send out what we've gotten in there in the past, so you can take a look at what currently exists, and then that'll give you an idea of what are some of the things to add to and where it would be good to add to that.
Okay.
Yeah, Andres, I think that's one of our purposes as an advisory committee is to put something in writing and give it to people like CJ, people like Kathy, who do these larger strategic plans and get these things and the goals for the different council chairs and councilmen and women. And I actually was trying to. I was thinking about bringing that up for the next meeting, about starting to get something like that we can either update quarterly or yearly or, you know, bi-yearly or whatever it may be. It's a document that we can give to the town council that has our recommendations in it. Whether they take them or not, that's up to them. But I think as an advisory committee, that'd be something important that we can do.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You know, and if, you know, it could be one of those, hey, here's the 20-year plan like we have for the town, you know, with annual updates. And then, you know, if we report out to, you know, the town council quarterly, hey, here's what we've accomplished. This is what we've got in the works. You know, visibility with the entire town council, I think would be good too.
Yeah,
we can.
I agree.
We can potentially fit something in if we can do this. Maybe I'm trying to remember if we're going to have 2 meetings in November. Thanksgiving might mean only one, but we could try and get into one of the meetings. We've got September, October, November, and December.
Yeah, I'm thinking for, like, you know, on the town council meetings, I'm sure you guys run long and late and cover a ton of stuff. You know, a 30-second, you know, hey, here's 3 bullet points. That we do.
Yeah,
that's a good plan. I like it.
20 years, I'm going to be 80 years old.
Dude, you are going to be pushing your recumbent bike, you know, down the bike path with your big flag and flashing lights. And I'm going to be right there behind you. Eli's going to be in his 40s. Yeah.
Carolyn gets the keys to the kingdom by then.
Nice.
Thanks, Carolyn.
All right, with that, we'll move on to old business, water fountains at the trails. Okay, Ron, big thank you to you for getting me into that meeting. Basically, our funding request was approved. The value or the amount was lessened to $7,500 from the original, what was it, like $9,400, I think, something like that, which is fine. We'll still get a water fountain. It's still going to get put in. I just spoke with the their finance person, Ron.
Tony
Tony,
Rizzo.
yeah, Tony reached out to me and said, "Hey, where do I send the check?" I sent him all that information, so we should be getting started on the purchasing and everything shortly, once that's received.
If I can just say that Farmington's our reputation with the Farmington Trails Council was going down the tubes, and this guy here, Dylan, he pretty much, they're really happy with Farmington right now. So I just want to really acknowledge that.
Thank you, Dylan.
Really went out of his way, yeah.
So hopefully maybe by the end of the year we see a fountain. I know we were trying to get it done for this year, but I think they're scheduling paving projects in August now, due to the paving contractors just being so busy this year.
Okay, maybe you should tell them that. I'm not gonna.
One way or the other, if it gets here before the end of the year, it's going in the ground because it's not going to stay in the shop forever. So we'll get that done one way or the other. I have nothing else to add to that other than that it will be in the New Britain parking lot for the trails. I think we already have some kind of tie into their water main there anyways. The last time they went through that water main, I think it was added just in case we wanted to put a bathroom or something. Right. I'm recalling, but I'm not 100%. I'm not even 100% sure where it's located. So that's besides the point.
So that's Oak Ridge intersection around there? The pavilion is?
Yeah, I think so.
And now it's going to actually be in the parking lot or on the trail?
It's not going to be like in the middle of the trail. It's going to be around the parking lot, probably over the. If you're parking your car, in front of the trail, you have that wooden fence in front of you. It's probably going to be on that side, I would think.
So on the parking lot side or the trail side?
Probably the trail side, just so no one hits it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, so you're on the trail and you don't have to go to the other side.
Ron, we'll have to double check and see exactly where the water mains come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the water line's going to kind of determine that. I'm not 100% sure where it is. I know it's on the property, just not where. But yeah, once we get closer to that, we can nail that down. The Farmington Valley Trails Council is also donating a bench that's going to go over by the Route 4 in Unionville parking lot where the tunnel is, under Route 4. The family would like it there. Once we get closer to placing the concrete pad for that, which I'm going to tie into another project that we're doing this year. That project's currently with DOT encroachment permits team. Once I hear back from them, I'm pushing it off to the highway team, and they'll build a crosswalk at the Lovely Street intersection with Route 4 to the center island there, because we currently don't have one. And as part of that project, I'll have our concrete contractor just swing over there for a quick pad, and then once the pad is there, it's quick for our highway team to go over with a drill bit and anchor in the bench. That's no problem. That's how we did it at the Pocket Park. That's all I have. Does Ron, do you have any updates from the Trails Council?
I do not. I was curious about the Pocket Park.
Yep.
Is there room to, are we going to do anything else to it eventually?
So what I heard was that there is a potential for a second grant round that Rose would be getting. I'm not sure how she'd be getting it, but there's hope that she can get more funding so that we can do some kind of landscaping there.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
nothing like a pavilion or a kiosk?
No. So what we call the informational kiosk on the directional poles is the sign.
It is. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. The back side of the sign, if you haven't been there yet, has a wonderful history of the area. It's got photos, a QR code that brings you to the Explore Farmington webpage map. That gives you different restaurants, museums, things of that nature that are around that area. So if you do see the QR code, it's not a prank. It's not some kid, unless they covered ours. But you'll be able to tell, hopefully. Just scan it, look at the map, tell me what you think. The same QR code is also going to be on, it's also on the directional poles by the trail. So each directional pole is within one of the 2 garden beds. We just created a garden bed on the gravel parking lot side, Ron, of that intersection.
Mm-hmm.
So they took down all the knotweed and threw mulch in there, and hopefully the garden club can plant something nice there in the future. But for now, we're hoping the knotweed stays out.
So the signs didn't go up yet, right? Did I miss them?
They went up today.
Oh, and you didn't see them? I thought you'd be the first one there to look at them.
I thought we were having a field trip.
Yeah, they went up today, and there will be a little medallion on them that has the same QR code that Bruce here has already scanned and made sure works. So,
wow,
it doesn't work, blame him, not me. So that's all I have for that, Ron.
Just curious about, because I was driving through West Hartford today, where they're doing, well, they have to save lives, right? A lot of the 3 feet signs, have we gotten anywhere with those? Must give drivers, cyclists 3 feet.
I had a conversation with Jim Rusbason about it, but it is not coming to memory.
I'm not sure who that is.
He's our highway superintendent.
That's the new Scott Zenke.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I have something on it. I'll find out, Ron. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring it back up with him and Russ. But any signs that go up in town have to be MUTCD guideline.
Yeah.
Have to be in there. That's a requirement that Russ has, and we don't let anyone do anything else otherwise. Usually. And then I think you have to get it through traffic board, the traffic review board, just so that they are aware of it, because that's within their purview.
Okay.
But let me do a little bit more work on that. And we were thinking, Ron, just so that I have it 100%, we're thinking somewhere in the flats and around that area, correct?
Well, so what I was looking at is where the trail will not take you. And really it's it's Copper Mine Road, right? You've got those narrowest of roads. And until you're able to take a left on the Copper Mine, you're really right there. Cars are coming very close to you.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if you want to just do Hart and then see how that works, and then.
Yeah, I mean, we can always start with 1 or 2, and then see how it's received with the traffic review board as they drive around town and make sure things are working as intended, and our committee can make sure they're working as intended too.
So what does that entail? Like sitting out there with and recording?
Oh no! Just you know, maybe a month or two goes by and you happen to ride down that road and you go, you know what, it's really making a difference, or you say, you know what, it's not making a difference. You know, it's all experience.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to study it though, by any means.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Ron will be studying it.
Just one last thing, I promise.
Sure.
So all of the flats is 40 miles an hour, right? And I didn't realize it, but even when you get to the swervy part, going by Garden Street, there's not another, like, that's still 40 right to Main Street?
Jeff, do you
it
know that
turns to
for sure?
35.
And I was just because I didn't,
Yeah, hold on,
I
Ron.
only rode one way.
Ron, hold on a second. Jeff,
Okay.
do you know that? Do you know is it all the way out to Garden Street? Is it still 40 miles an hour?
Not sure, but I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. Although I did spot our traffic officer catching a few people coming way too fast through the flats, but her gun was pointed up farther. So it's when it was still 40 and they were far exceeding 40. So
Yeah.
Yeah, speeding's the number one complaint, and you only have enough guys. I mean, they've been on Route 6 getting people at 80 miles an hour. So that's been kind of, you know, after a few people break the record for whoever, you know, I got someone at this speed, that speed. So then it draws people, especially when you're going that fast.
Yeah. So
you start getting people, you know, because that's, you know, it's just a bad accident away from going that fast.
Yep.
Well, let me see what I can do with figuring the speed limit there.
All right.
Jeff, are you seeing it like worse now than you like ever have? I feel like on the bike I am. Just seeing.
It's a COVID thing as far as I'm concerned. You know, there was nobody. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I loved the COVID for bicycling because there was no cars on the road.
It was great.
But then when cars, you know, the cars that were there were going faster, and then they stayed going faster, and so it's combination of things, I think, anyway.
I think you're right.
I'm scared for the first time in my life on the road now. Never was.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah. I'm on Google Maps right now, just scrolling through it on the Street View, and I'm seeing 40 miles an hour. So looks like you might be right, Ron, on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I tried to go 40 on it today, and it was like, I'm holding on, thinking, it's a little tough. Hope there's no brakes.
Yeah, we do have a yield to pedestrian and crosswalk sign out there in front of Garden Street. I see that, but yeah, I think it's maintained 40 all the way through, at least signage wise.
Yikes. How does a request get, like, how do you determine that? Or
changing speed limits is quite difficult still. The state did ease up on it quite a bit, but it is still a long review process with the state, because OSTA has to, I believe, still approve everything. But they basically told the towns, okay, you guys can set your own speed limits now, but you got to jump through 18 hoops to get there. So still not easy or straightforward. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know of any town. I think they've only had 1 or 2 towns do it.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What else do we have?
Yeah, does anyone have anything else to bring up tonight? I'm seeing nothing. I'll give Ron another minute.
No, but I mean, there's always stuff, but no, this is good. This was a very productive meeting. I appreciate giving Brian and Lily the time.
Of course. I'm actually kind of excited about it now. I think the bench, the bike rack details that she shared with us and her father were very appealing. And I think it would make a great addition. Like I said before, I think maybe throwing something with all the natural wood and everything and the live edge in front of the senior center or in front of the police station might not be the best place. I think we can go to standard black metal one there and maybe put
Or a
them up
nice
separate.
laser cut one there.
Yeah,
Let's
plasma,
do it.
plasma cut.
Plasma cut, sorry.
The plasma cutter just needs an air source and a 240 volt outlet. So
Really?
you know, I've got it in my garage, but you know, I bet the town garage has it too. I could show you guys how to use it. It's not hard.
Yeah. No, we don't. I don't think we have one. We don't have. We have a lot of old school tech, not a lot of new tech.
Yeah. So I mean, think of it as it's probably 40-year-old technology, but you know, instead of doing it like an oxyacetylene torch and cutting with that,
Yeah.
it's shoots a lightning bolt out of a torch. You know, the other option is, I don't know if Hartford's Makerspace has one, but a lot of places have laser cutters. And I mean, heck, we could go to Trump down in the industrial park. They make the laser cutters. If we sent them a file and showed up with metal, I mean, how cool would that be for Lily to show up and say, hey, we made this with Trump and Trump is supporting the town and Girl Scouts.
Would be incredible.
They make the machines that do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that would be really cool for everybody.
Yeah, I like it.
International company. Yeah.
And I've got a buddy of mine that works there. So if we want to go down that way, let me know and I could push the idea down to him. You know, he probably just needs the file and and have somebody show up with some metal. Yeah, you can just get that, stainless steel from Logan Steel.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did have two quick things. There are two.
Okay, can we move to adjourn?
No, EBM. How come we don't have a crosswalk right there? It's right along the bike trail.
BBM.
EBM in front of the driveway. I mean the entrance, and then down further at Quinco. Crosswalk guy was there and flew over, and there were those two that didn't have crosswalks across their entrance to their driveway. So
I'm not. Oh, is that over by
across from Trump is EBM.
Okay.
Yeah, we crossed that on the bike path.
Yeah. Yeah, almost in Plainville, really, kind of toward Plainville. But the EBM is on New Britain Ave. I mean, not EBM, Quanco.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, where it is.
Yeah, I guess you have to come back to the next meeting and ask.
No, but if you just look for where there's no crosswalk, you'll find it.
I'm going to give you a big can of yellow paint, Ron. Jeff's not listening right now. You can just sneak in and paint when nobody's looking.
Sweet, crosswalks everywhere.
That's the last thing you want to do is give them any kind of paint.
Here, I'll just pop this up quick. Ron, are you talking right here?
No, it's going across their driveway, actually. Like if you cross over Trump's.
Go northeast from there along the bike path.
Thanks. I don't know direction.
Right here?
No, it doesn't cross the road.
Oh,
It
right
crosses
here.
the entrance of
No,
their
it's
driveway.
kind of in the center. There you go. Yep.
I'm not sure. I'm sure it was a part of some kind of approval. I don't know how we would enforce that. It's a private driveway.
Oh, it's
If we volunteered to paint it, and got permission with that, then it's no skin on their back.
I don't know.
Click
It's
on the
that
100 again.
private parking lot type thing.
Dylan, click on the 100 again. Okay.
It's an odd shape.
Yeah.
we're talking about the right one.
Yeah, That's
Yeah.
that's across their driveway.
So Ron, if you go knock on their door and ask them, and you get the approval,
I mean, I don't see why they would complain.
And then which one's that? Quanco?
No, it's EVM Pabst.
Okay.
And then it crosses Johnson Avenue and heads south past Trump to the airport.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Quanco is.
So Quanco is like across the street. Are those oil tanks and propane? It's
Oh,
like
Quinoco. Oh, okay, on New Britain Avenue. So north of Route 6.
Quinoco? Okay, I got that right. Yeah, that one.
Here,
Nope, keep going.
keep going.
Going north. Oh, that's the other driveway. Keep going.
Here,
Nope, keep going.
I thought that one had stop signs for the bikeway.
Yeah.
That driveway.
oh, they have stop
Yeah,
signs.
that's that one.
Yes.
Thought so.
is that the one you were
Yeah,
talking
because
about?
you can
Ron, that
see
has
these
stop
stop
signs
bars
there?
there. That's the one right there he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, they do have those signs there, Ron.
Well, they
Yeah.
have stop signs, but so do all the ones going through Avon where you have to cross the crosswalk. They all do, really.
Yeah, but the idea is that you can't ride your bicycle going 15 miles an hour without taking due care to cross for yourself also. So they try to put some onus on the person using the roadway both ways. So any
Yeah.
car that crosses a driveway, that's technically a pathway, has to yield the right to a pedestrian or a cyclist. But the key is cyclists go so much faster. So there are stop signs there to give them some onus to cross over and not just zoom out, so
Yeah.
to speak. So everybody's supposed to be, sharing the pathway and at least the intersection. It's kind of how most intersections works to begin with. So
Yeah.
So if we get the Idaho stop, does that mean we could just roll through it?
I mean, nobody's, I don't know anybody that's really doing the roll throughs,
Yeah.
like enforcing them, including cars half the time. We're looking for major infractions, but it's more. Most of those stop signs are even just to let someone who's not familiar with the trail know, oh, I'm going across something that might be dangerous. And that's kind of the way we look at it. I mean, I don't know that is technically enforceable, depending on what judge you might get in front of in the traffic court.
Yeah.
They might tell you yes, they might tell you no.
Yeah. And they might not agree to a crosswalk. They might agree to a stop sign though, but I doubt they'd put it in. Probably something we would do or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't agree to the crosswalk, you might be able to say, well, we're going to put stop signs up at the same time. So at least you're kind of letting both parties know, both the traffic crossing in a motor vehicle and the cyclists and the pedestrians going the other way, that, hey, this is a spot that you should pay attention to.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you're even just jogging along, not paying attention, thinking I'm on the rails to trails and I'm good to go. And the next thing you know, you're crossing over stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're a car coming off of the main road, taking a right into the driveway, there's no stop sign and there's no
Right.
crossing.
No, there's not. But and just like any driveway, there's no stop sign. But it's you're supposed to yield the right to somebody on a.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a crosswalk. That is basically you're going to draw a line from one end to the other, and you're going to say this is a sidewalk, so to speak, even though it's not paved, it's not concrete, it's still a sidewalk, and you have to yield the right of way to a pedestrian on a sidewalk.
Yeah. And the same goes for all of the businesses and homes in Unionville and elsewhere in town that have sidewalks that go through their driveway.
Right. Yeah. And some of them, when they redo the roads, they're you can see it better because it changes material. It's not asphalt, it's concrete. And some they're not able to do that for various reasons, or they just didn't. So it's a little harder. So basically, if you're painting it and you're putting stop signs and you're kind of drawing attention to it, I wouldn't want to do it every single driveway, but those are far and few between. Maybe it's something to look at, but we normally look at stuff like that, and I'm sure the traffic commission does too, with what are the instances and how many things do we have going wrong at this particular area that draws our attention to doing a redesign.
Yeah, well put. Thank you, Jeff. All right, with that, it stops here. There we go. With that, do we want to adjourn? I can't do it.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All right. All right. Adjourn at 8:04.